Hello, welcome to another video in Alora Essentials. We are getting closer to the end of this tutorial series and we have built a portfolio website, photographer website. You can have multiple pages for this website, but we've been able to get a few things that you'd need for any website out there. Now let's look at how to clean this website up and make it look good and make it attractive. So what we could do here is add a form to this website. We could add a simple contact form here that the people can actually contact you with, and then it will come into your email. So I'm just going to add a form to this. So I'm just going to add a block. As we've learned in other videos, forms are going to be in blocks. They would have to be in blocks. First, a margin left would be in other. I'm going to put it in the middle of 25% and a width of 40%, a width of 50%. Yes, or we can do a width of 40% and a margin left of 30% so that it's in the middle. Okay. Now the issue with not creating an action for the new background color is that I'm gonna have to copy the color from this one and put it in here. That's so much work that we don't want to do. So now see what is happening, right? The reason why we normally put table here or increase the size, so there are two ways to do that. We can either increase the size of this section or we can put it this way so that it just fits in for us. And I'm doing it this way because this is what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a background transparent because I'm not ready to go and copy the colors there, so that it takes the color of the background. Then I'm going to put a padding to the bottom of about 80 here so that there's space, enough space there. And the first thing I'm going to add is a text element, and this text element is just going to have the body text here, and I'm going to say, I'm just going to edit its name, right? Okay, and I'm going to add a form element. As you can see, we are going to style this. In fact, let me actually style this so that we can duplicate it and then we are done. So let's go into this place. We are going to give it a background color of nothing, right? Then we are going to change the border color of this thing. We're going to give it a border. Okay, so border to the top, border to the right, the border to the left, and the border to the bottom. Now we are going to go ahead and give it a font size. We want to change the font size of this thing. So when we change the font size to 22, yeah, we would then want the font, the padding to the top to be increased a bit. Okay, so let's just make it, and the padding to the bottom also increased a bit. Now one thing that you need to do is to set the, after you set the font, you really need to add line height to this so that you can increase the line height, right? And give the padding to the top 30. Let's make it 32. Padding to the bottom also 32. Because of the font that we have, font size that we have. Okay, so we have a nice little form element here. So what we need to do here is just go to the form options. So the options, put none there. The type is going to be text because it's a name. Validation, what is the minimum number that it should have in there? The name should be 4. The highest name, we have 150, and then we can validate this. And then info, what kind of information are you looking for? We are looking for alphabet, and then we are going to put dummy text. We are going to put dummy text in here. So we are going to say name instead of the dummy text, and the name of the form element would be name because we want name. So when a person submits this form to your online to your web form, what name should it be? Finally, we need to decide whether this form element is required or not. So it's required. Let's have it. Now we are basically done with this form. What we need to do is just click on this, duplicate it. This is what I really didn't like when it's like this. You need to delete quite a lot of these ones away. But deleting them, we need to delete this, delete this, delete. Then we need to duplicate this. It's going to duplicate again, but what are we going to do? We just need to duplicate. That's a whole lot of duplication. So we have name, email, and probably message. So we can keep this one. So now we can just delete these ones. We don't need them. Maybe if you want to have options, maybe subject. Okay, so we have name. We have subject. The subject of the message, what the person is sending that for. So here I would want to reduce the font size a bit. The font size is too much. 19, yes, so that it looks a little bit sleek. So now that we have this, we could do the same for the rest of them. But what we could do is we are going to create this. We are going to change the type. We are going to make it a select. And then we are going to say the options are going to be booking, message, more info, work. All right, so we are done. Let's get to validation. We are just going to leave it this way. Validate info, alphabet, holder. The name is going to be subject. Right, so right now we're adding a form element to the website. The name is going to be form name, then subject. Required, yes, it's going to be required. Now here what we can do is that we are going to change this thing into so we have name, subject, email, so that you can collect the person's email address and then you can get back to them later. If you want to add number, it's up to you what you want to do. So we select email and we are going to put in here email, and we are going to put on here another email, and then we are done. So the next thing that we need to do is change this one. We are going to make it text area because it has to be a message. Text area. We are going to take no options. We are going to make it alphabet, and we are going to name it message, so that in your inbox when this comes in, it's going to say message properly. Alright, so we are going to take this and make it display table, and then we are going to add a button to this to finish our website. Now we have this design in here. Okay. and we are going to make it look good, right? This is okay. But first, we would definitely need to take that the color into consideration, what we want it to look like. Now, let's go to Spring Buttons and then look for a button that we are going to be proud of. Let's try this. No. No. Still not working. Okay. Alright, so what we can do is put a margin to the top of this one. What we can do is put a margin to the top of this one. Margin to the top. So let's have a margin to the top. And we're going to give it 20 here. And then this background. Okay, so we want everything to be muted. This is the muted colors and all that, so that our pictures will stand out. All right, so we have a simple form here that we just built that the person can go ahead and send you a message. Now that you've built this form, you're not done. You need to do a few other things to make sure the form is delivered. First, you need to add form element. You need to tell the application that this is a form, right? Now the next thing you need to do is add form email, form we added a form email to it, form email message, form email subject. Basically that's all. And the last, we are going to click on this and add form button to this. These are all nodes that's going to tell the application how to treat the things that you have here and then build you a form that is actually working. And in case you want to export this website and then use it elsewhere, when you're exporting, the application can use, there are a lot of free online email submissions where you can then use. So the application is going to connect to one of those and then you can use it, since you'll not be able to use our email server because you are not hosting, if you are not hosting with us. Let's move on and explain what I added to these ones. So I think there's a mistake here because this were not added to the right thing that they were supposed to be added to. Let's click on this. You're supposed to have form email added to this. You're supposed to have form email message. You don't really have to add the email subject and email message to it, but it's important that you add the form email to it. So we have form. Let's add form to it so the application knows that this is a form. So as you can see, the email here is which email this is supposed to be going to. So whichever website. All right, that this email is supposed to go. So the message, when people fill the form, what message should come? Thank you for signing up. Thank you for sending us a message. We will get back to you in 24 hours, whatever. Then the subject that is going to happen when you send an email, the subject that is going to come on your in your inbox. So maybe message from the website. If you have multiple websites, this is going to help you deal with that. If you have multiple websites, by giving each website a unique subject, you'll be able to find out where the website is coming, the message is coming from. So basically, this is the form done. Now there are things to activate for spam control. You can use Google reCAPTCHA, and I'm going to show you in another video how to add a CAPTCHA form to this so that it will keep out the bots and the unscrupulous people who would want to use your form to send spam messages to your inbox. Alright, so thank you for watching this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to talk about other things that we can do to improve this website.